Good work doesn't find clients. A built brand does. Here's the reframe that makes freelancing survivable. You're not chasing jobs, you're building something that finds you. Two co-founders of a curated freelance network spent 51 minutes on one question. How do you get discovered? 81,000 students showed up for the answer. This is Going Freelance, Building and Branding Your Own Success, taught by Justin Gignac, co-founder of Working Not Working. 9 lessons, 51 minutes, built for anyone standing at the edge of the jump. Here's the plan, your mission and your side projects. A portfolio that actually gets read, marketing without the Ike, and the business talk nobody gives you. Lesson 2 skips the obvious question. What are you interested in? Almost everyone is interested in many things. The sharper question is simpler. What moves you? What do you want people to feel when they see your work? That's the personal mission, and it's never finished. A mission doesn't need to be public or long or even a full sentence. It just needs to be honest, because its real job is quiet. It tells you which jobs to say yes to and which ones to turn down. Lesson 3 turns that mission into work, the side project, not a hobby you keep to yourself, a gift to the internet built from whatever you're actually obsessed with. Do it long enough and the side project becomes the job. So who's teaching? Justin Gignac, co-founder of Working Not Working. What started as a few hundred creatives in New York has grown into a curated network of about 5,000, working in advertising, design, animation, photography, and tech. The client list is the credential. Apple, Whedon and Kennedy, the New York Times, and Kickstarter have all hired through the network. The managers at those companies are exactly who this class is coaching you to reach. He teaches it alongside Claire Wasserman, W&W's Director of Marketing, two people who read portfolios for a living, which is exactly why they know what makes a manager stop scrolling. Chapter 3, The Contents. Inside, it's 51 minutes across 9 lessons. Mission and side projects first, then the portfolio, then marketing and networking, then the business fundamentals nobody else bothers to teach. And the ordering is deliberate, not arbitrary. You can't market a portfolio you haven't built yet, and you can't build one without first knowing what you stand for. Mission comes first, then the proof of work, then the audience that finds it, then the money that sustains all three. Each lesson quietly enables the next one in exactly that order. 9 lessons, most under 10 minutes, watchable on a lunch break, built to outlast the next decade of tools. Now for the part everyone skips first, the portfolio. Lesson 4, give it context. Don't just post the work. Say what your role was, exactly who you worked with, and who actually hired you for it. The managers behind this class say they spend minutes, not hours, on each portfolio they open, which makes that first impression almost the entire impression you will ever get the chance to make on any of them. Then edit like it costs you money, because it genuinely does. One teacher's line sticks with him still. You're only as good as your worst piece of work in your portfolio. 10 great pieces will always beat 20 merely good ones. No text links standing between the manager and the work, no typos anywhere on the site, no splash page to click through, just the work itself shown big and fast to load. Lesson 5 is the fun one. A guided tour of 4 portfolios the instructors genuinely love, and a breakdown of exactly what each one gets right. First, Jen Massari, a letterer and designer whose site opens straight onto huge, unmissable thumbnails. Lettering on motorcycles right up front, no click required to see it. Text links would have been a real disservice to work this visual and this bold. Then Lotta Nieminen, illustrator and designer. A clean, consistent color palette ties every single project together, while her design work and her illustration work stay clearly separated into their own sections. The presentation style matches the work itself. And the detail that stands out the most across all 4 sites, personality. One art director's bio ends with, "The first time I was ever on a plane, I jumped out." You don't forget a line like that, and neither will the manager reading it at the end of a long day. Lesson 6, lock your handle down early. The same name across Twitter, Instagram, and your own URL. Because when someone discovers you in one place, consistency is exactly what lets them find you again somewhere else without having to guess. Real estate on the internet only ever gets scarcer, never easier to claim, so claim it early. Then show up daily, or as close to daily as you can manage. One illustrator featured in the class posted a brand new drawing every single day, no exceptions. Within a year, he had commissioned client work landing in his inbox. A couple of years later, he was a fully independent illustrator working for himself. The daily habit, it turns out, was the marketing all along. Lesson 7, authentic networking, the part everyone dreads most. Borrowed from a Wharton professor, the idea is the 5-minute favor. Come in asking what you can do for someone well before you ever ask them for anything in return. Help enough people get what they actually want, and you tend to end up getting what you want too, usually sooner than expected. And when you do finally pitch press or a potential collaborator make the whole thing about them, never, please cover me, please write about my work. Always, here's a piece of content that's genuinely valuable for your specific readers. One well-placed article, the class notes from direct experience, can quietly generate freelance work for an entire decade afterward. Lesson 8, the talk almost nobody gives you before you jump. Clients can take 60 days, 90 days, even 120 days to actually pay an invoice. The advice here is blunt and unglamorous. Keep 3 full months of rent and bills sitting in the bank before you leave the day job. Then hire an accountant. Genuinely don't skip this one. LLC or S-Corp, quarterly estimated taxes, and what actually counts as a write-off. The unglamorous half of freelancing that nobody posts about, and the class refuses to skip past it. Because the moment you go freelance, you're not just a creative anymore. You're running an actual business with real invoices and real clients waiting on both. The class treats that as the whole point, not a footnote. So after 51 minutes, does the class actually deliver? 88% of students said the class met or exceeded their expectations going in. 33% said it flat out exceeded them, no qualifiers attached. And on the most liked board, the clear winner is helpful examples, pulling in well over 600 votes from students. Engaging teacher and clarity of instruction both sit close behind it in the standings. The profile of a class people actually finish, not just one they start and abandon. Which tracks, this entire class is built out of real examples start to finish. Real portfolios, a real client list, a real curated network, not theory, receipts, which leaves one last question to answer. So who's it for exactly? The side hustler, still employed, building the mission and the side project on nights and weekends. The portfolio procrastinator, great work buried behind old text links and typos. And the network avoider who's never once heard of the 5-minute favor. Because underneath the mission, the portfolio, and the 5-minute favors, the class keeps circling back to the same 4 words. Build the body of work. The job finds you. Mission, portfolio, network, and money. That's the whole architecture in 4 words, and it's a genuinely different starting point than most freelance advice out there ever gives you, right from the very first lesson. So the verdict, worth 51 minutes of your evening? Comfortably, yes. You leave with a mission statement, a portfolio checklist, a networking reframe, and a real financial buffer plan, an honest freelance starter kit built into one single sitting. It's included with a Skillshare membership, and there's a free trial available. So the 51 minutes end up being the entire price you ever pay for it. And don't go searching around for the class yourself. The link right in the description gets you in free through Skillshare. Tap it, press play, then go do the work, honestly all of it, and finally let the work do the finding for you out there on its own. See you in the next review.